What am I feeling like another Bears loss is coming? Sports Talk Chicago, here with Jon Zaghloul. In this video, we're going to break down the Bears-Falcons game coming up on Sunday and explain why I think the Bears are going to lose again. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, set up notifications so you don't miss a thing. Talk Chicago Bears daily. We also have interviews with former Bears players and special guests who cover the Bears each and every day. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports, Facebook Jon Zaghloul. Want to watch more of this show? Head on over to sportstalkchicago.com. I want to start today with this. I think everything is on the table here. I mean, if you lose to Detroit in the fashion in which you did, I cannot predict with certainty what's going to happen for the rest of the year for the Bears. They were up by 14. They were expected to win. Detroit is much worse than Chicago. And yet, the Bears lost. They blew it. So please forgive me if I'm wrong on picks moving forward, or if I don't know how to pick moving forward. Don't blame me. Don't shoot the messenger. This is the Bears' fault. So when it comes to this weekend, although the Bears should win, although the Bears, in my opinion, have more talent and are a better team than Atlanta, I don't know if they're going to win. I have my doubts, and I actually think at the end of the day it's going to be another loss for the Bears. Now, one thing that's really going to hurt them moving forward is Khalil Herbert's on the IR. He won't come back till December. That is a huge loss. The Bears are going to have to rely more on David Montgomery and, believe it or not, Justin Fields to carry more of the run game. That's going to be difficult. That will cause problems offensively. When you don't have a 6-yard per carry running back in the game anymore, it helps out the defense sniff out more runs and passes. See, Herbert was underrated to me. Being able to run for 6 yards per carry all the time as a running back, not a quarterback, and coming in at certain times, mixing it up with David Montgomery and Justin Fields, it really helped out the Bears' offense. Why wouldn't it? You got 3 bona fide running backs, all of them playing on separate snaps, separate downs. I mean, it throws off the defense so much, and the Bears' run offense is number 1 in football. A lot of that was because of Khalil Herbert, averaging 6 yards per carry. Now he's gone. This is going to hurt the Bears' offense much more than people think. I know David Montgomery's still there. I know he's the consensus number 1 back. He could run and he could pass block and catch. He's a more dimensional running back compared to Khalil Herbert, but he's struggling in gaining yards per carry. Without that element of speed and quickness that Herbert brings to the table, the Bears' offense, the Bears' run game specifically, is going to be easier to sniff out if you're a defense. It's going to be harder for the Bears to call play action, call rollouts. It's going to be harder for them to decoy at running back. This does affect the Bears' offense a lot. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. This is a tough blow for Herbert and for the Bears. Herbert was having a great year too. That will affect the Bears this weekend, and moving forward it will. Now, the positive for the Bears is, at least defensively speaking, Cordero Patterson's also hurt for the Falcons. He served as their running back this year. Now they're relying on a backup. Relying on somebody named Tyler Algier. Backing up, now started 4 games on the season with 443 yards, 4.3 yards per carry. Remember, they got Marcus Mariota too, who can also run the football. These two teams are pretty similar offensively, believe it or not. I think Justin Fields is way better than Marcus Mariota, but the fact is both guys are quarterbacks who could also run, who have passed, to do a better job, Fields recently, taking care of the football. It's going to be a very similar game offensively. Both offenses have their star running backs hurt. So I think it's going to be another toe-for-toe type game. I am not expecting this to be a blowout. Just because I don't think the Bears are going to win doesn't mean it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a close game from the first snap. I really believe it. Like the Lions game was. Just like other games the Bears have been in but lost. The Commanders game, another. The Giants game. To the Bears' credit, which I don't think people give them enough credit, their record really doesn't show how good they played all year. The Bears should be a 500 team right now. I mean, we're talking about 3 games they should have easily won. Giants, Commanders, and now Lions. All three of those games, the Bears should have won. All three of them, they were in it. They were leading at some points. Those were the games they should have won. They could be in a wild card spot today if they had won those games. Everybody wants them to tank and get a new draft pick. I would say, hey, they won those 3 games. We'd be talking about a playoff team. We'd be talking about so many different things surrounding this Bears team. So we're talking about rebuilding and tanking still. So this will be a close game, no question. It's not going to be a blowout. If anybody tells you it's a blowout, they're wrong. This is going to be close. The Bears may actually have a lead a couple of times in this game. And I would say, if last week didn't happen, I'd be picking the Bears all the way on this. How could you not? Atlanta sucks. Anybody can tell you what they want. Atlanta sucks. And their defense is not good. They're 27th in the NFL in defense, giving up 25 points per game. They're just like Detroit. This is a carbon copy of last week, except even more so because the offenses are exactly the same. But what happened last week? Well, Carlos Santos misses a PAT. Justin Fields threw a pick 6. Too many penalties, undisciplined. And the Bears blew the game, couldn't close, couldn't execute. They lost. The Bears should have won that game. And had they won, I would have picked them to beat Atlanta. But I really don't think they're going to win this one. If they do, prove me wrong, great. But how could you pick them here after what happened last week? This is a team that cannot close games. And you know what? That's okay. You have to learn that strategy. But I will say this. It really looks like they are tanking. I think it's sad. I think it's pathetic. Tanking is not good to me. I'm not a big tanking guy at all. But the Bears, it seems like, are trying to do it. You don't just lose to Detroit, okay? You don't just lose to the Commanders or the Giants. You don't do that. When you had leads all game, when you've been in the game all game, one of those 3 the Bears should have won, and last week specifically, the Bears should have won. So I'm not going to pick them to win in a game that's similar to those 3. The Bears should win this game. They're better than Atlanta. They have more pieces, more weapons. Justin Fields is way better than Marcus Mariota, but are they going to win? I say no. They're going to find a way, like they did last week, to not execute and lose, or quote-unquote, secretly, tank. I whisper it because you can't say it out loud. They're going to try and lose this game, and they probably will, and that's fine. I mean, the whole goal anyway is going to be Fields' development. I think Fields is going to have a great game and a field day, no pun intended, against this horrible Atlanta defense. I mean, 27th in the NFL in defense. They've given up 25 points per game. They scored 23, though. I mean, their offense isn't horrible. They're 12th in the NFL, similar again to the Detroit Lions. Lions last week entering play were 12th. Guess they've moved up now after the Bears game. Now Atlanta is occupying that 12th spot. But Atlanta's defensive attack is not good. This is going to be a prime opportunity for the Bears to put up more points, for Justin Fields to get more comfortable. I'm curious to see how they run their offense without Khalil Herbert. I would assume Tristan Ebner gets some more carries. And defensively for the Bears, I'm hoping to see a continuance of last week, but no penalties. So, for example, I want to see Sanborn play more. I want to see Sanborn do what he did last week. 9 tackles, 2 sacks. That was an amazing performance. I don't want to see Jalen Johnson playing hurt because he got beat many a time. I want to see Eddie Jackson remember how to tackle again and cover again. Remember, you're facing Atlanta. You're not facing a great team. You're facing an offense that also is work in progress with Marcus Mariota, who, by the way, is starting for the first time in like 4 years. I don't even know why or how he got this starting job. Got to watch out for Drake London, of course. Kyle Pitts, the tight end. They have a couple of decent guys. Zacchaeus, another. They have decent names, name recognition, some pieces, but none of these guys are amazing, except for maybe Pitts, a tight end. And they compare to what the Bears have, receiving-wise. They really do. They compare to what the Bears have at running back, and I think they're worse at QB. This is a pretty evenly matched matchup. I think the Bears have the slighter edge talent-wise, but because of last week, I'm not picking them to win. It's going to be close, another high-scoring game, but I think at the end of the day, they're going to fall just a little bit short. That's my take, at least. I think the final score is going to be 28-24. Falcons win. 28-24 is my pick on this one. Last week I said 33-30 Bears win. It's pretty close there. But 28-24 is my pick. The Bears will put up points. I fully believe it. Even without Herbert, I think they're still capable of at least functioning without him. I don't know how much it's going to affect them. We'll see on Sunday. But the defense is a gaping hole. We know this already. Roquan Smith is gone. Robert Quinn is gone. But, again, we need to see better performance out of the secondary this weekend. Jalen Johnson cannot play hurt. Eddie Jackson needs to remember how to tackle. Can Sanborn build off of last week? These are things we're going to need to be watching defensively for the Bears. The defense should do well here. I don't see why it should be a struggle. I mean, you're facing Marcus Mariota. Force him to throw the football and you might get a pick. Not kidding. Just force him to throw. Force Mariota to stay in the pocket, be under pressure, and just throw the ball. You'll get a pick, guaranteed. There's a formula here for the Bears to win. There's a way to make Marcus Mariota be Marcus Mariota, and Marcus Mariota's not even good to begin with. There's an opportunity for a win, no question. I think every week moving forward, with the exception of maybe one or two games, there's an opportunity for the Bears to win. I mean, that's a positive, too. Last year, we couldn't say that at all. It's nice to see that. It's nice to know the Bears could always be in contention. They have the talent, they have the ability, but it's a matter of do they want to, quote unquote. Are they tanking, or are they going to blow it because of inexperience, right? Trying to learn how to execute and close games. That's tough. So I think this will be close. I think the Bears could give the Falcons a run for their money. I think it's going to be a very entertaining and exciting game. The Bears should win. They should be expected to win, but after last week, I won't expect that anymore. I think I put my expectations too high, frankly. I gave the Bears too much credit on this season. I think I got caught up and forgot this is still a rebuild, and maybe they are trying to truly tank and get a better draft pick. I don't know. But I do know that last week they should have won. They blew the game. 14-point lead shrunk to nothing. That's pretty sad. That's not funny. That's not something we could praise. That's a big, big X on Matt Eberflus and the defense, undisciplined. All that stuff goes into it. But I digress. I've been told that tanking's okay. This will be a good game, though. It should be fun to watch. I think it's going to be close the whole time. It's going to be high scoring. It's going to be entertaining. And just remember this. You're going to remember one thing about these two teams and what they bring to the table. They're very similar. The Bears and the Falcons are super similar here. Both have mobile quarterbacks. Both have the running backs hurt. Both of them have kind of the same style of play. There are similarities. There are many parallels even in this game and even last weekend's game too. The Falcons as a team are very similar statistically to Detroit, yet on top of it, they have a running quarterback like the Bears, and they have no running back like the Bears now. These two teams are so similar. And I think the Bears at quarterback have such an advantage that they should win. But I learned my lesson after last weekend. I've learned it. I'm not picking the Bears. If they win, that's great, but I'm not going to pick them. I'm not going to go through the heartbreak again of what happened last weekend. 28-24 is my final prediction. And just remember to tune in on Sunday for the live stream. We're going to be live. We're going to be broadcasting this game. And I would hope that it's at least as competitive as we think it'll be. Thanks for watching today's show here on YouTube. Really appreciate the time. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports, Facebook, Jon Zaghloul. Want to watch more of this show? Head on over to sportstalkchicago.com. So long, everyone.